Hello students, good evening, welcome back. I'm Shari Das, Assistant Professor of Electrical Engineering Department from Ideal Institute of Engineering. So today we'll be continuing with our class of embedded systems where we'll be dealing with the process of computer-based process control system. So this is the second part of my video regarding computer-based industrial process control. We'll start the topic with classification of computer-aided process control system. Now this computer-aided process industrial system, or any process that we do in real time or we implement in real time, can be classified under one or more of the following categories of operation. The first one is the batch control or the sequential control. Second being the continuous control. Third, the supervisory control. And fourth is DDC or direct digital control. Now the batch or sequential control process is basically a process in which a sequence of operation is carried out to produce a quantity of a product, which we term as the batch, and in which the sequence is then repeated to produce further batches. Hence, it is called the sequential process as well. Now, in this batch process, there is a discontinuous feed and the product stream follows requires sequencing in the control. It involves the sequences of phases or batches carried out on a discrete quantity of materials. The batches of different products are transferred from one process equipment, or also we can call them units, to another. Now, batch processes are used widely in industries like food processing, chemical industries, whereas the operation carried out frequently involves raw materials carrying out of present process operating and then discharging the product as a final output. The figure illustrates or shows a chemical reactor, which is a typical example of a batch process. In this batch reactor, the batch cycle consists of the changing sequence of each of the two chemicals, that is, a heat up operation, a cool down sequence, and discharge of the final product mix for separation and subsequent processing. A chemical is produced by the reaction of two other chemicals at a specified temperature. The two chemicals are mixed together in the reactor, which is basically a sealed vessel, and feeding hot and cold water through the water jacket which surrounds the vessel. Now that controls the temperature of the reaction as per requirement. The hot or cold water flow, the flow of the chemicals into the reactor, and the flow of the product mix out of the reactor are controlled by adjusting the respective valves. The pressure inside the reactor and the temperature of the product mix need to be continuously monitored. Now, for implementing the computer control, these actions or sequences are put up as logical steps in form of a program when the entire sequence is designed. Batch processes can be classified on the basis of the number of products. First is single product batch process, which designates that it produces the same product in each batch and same operations are performed in each and every batch using the same amount of raw materials. Secondly, the multigrade batch process, in which the products are similar but differ only in formula quantities. The same operation is performed on each batch, but the quantities of the raw materials and processing condition, that is temperature, pressure, or even the ambient moisture, are varied. That is, the procedure remains the same, but the formula gets changed. Lastly comes the multi-product batch process. A multi-product batch process produces products using different methods of production or control. Now, both the procedure and the formula needs to be changed, as for each batch the operations are performed, the amount of raw materials needed and the processing condition may vary in the multi-product process. Now, implementing an automatic batch process is more difficult for a multi-grade process than for a single-grade one. Now, most difficult processes to be automated is the multi-product process among the three types. Now, batch processes can also be classified on basis of the structure of the process facility. First is the series structure or the single stream structure, in which a group of units through which a batch passes sequentially. This is a figure of the series single stream structure in which both the reactors are working along with the raw materials, but they're working in single line. That is, the input of one is basically the output of the reactor second reactor, or rather reactor 2 is receiving the input which is basically the output of reactor 1. So they occur in a series mode. But for every series single stream operation, it is also possible to have a single unit such as a reactor or several process units in sequence. Now, two different recipes which complement each other could be executed at the same time in this type of process. Now, if we consider the parallel multi-stream process, in that basically several batches may be executing at the same time, and they could also be performing the same operation. Now, many batch processes combine single stream and multi-stream structures to give a series parallel structure. Now, the batch processes classification by product and structure can be combined as a matrix as well. This is a figure of a parallel multi-stream structure where the raw materials are supplying to both reactors 1 and reactors 3, which have 4 different products in the entire setup, and the storage tanks combine, or rather it kind of holds all the products separately depending on the chambers or depending upon the variations of the storage tank. Now, the series or parallel structure requires the highest level of sophistication when it comes to design, implementation, and also usage. As we can see, the different raw materials are supplied to the different setups where multiple products are getting formed and even have a separate storage tank for all 3 corresponding products from the 3 different raw materials. Now, if we come to the complexity of the batch processes, the series operation is always the simplest for the single product, and the most complex is obtained for a single product in the series or parallel operation. Similarly, the multigrade is moderate for all operations, and the multi-product is the complex one for both series operation. For parallel operation, everything is in moderate value, but for a multi-product in series operation, it can go from being the simplest to the more complex directly. That is, in case of a single product and a multi-product, the series operation being the simplest, the most complex comes down to the series/parallel operation, which is also the most sophisticated. Now we come to the basic differences between a batch process and the continuous process. Now, there are very key, or rather very few differences which we can neglect, but the main ones are that the discrete loads of raw materials are usually fed into the system for a batch process, whereas a continuous feed of materials is there in the continuous process. Now, each batch of material being processed can be identified throughout a batch process because each batch is kept separate from all other batches being processed. But in continuous process, it is very difficult to track the raw materials. In a batch process, each batch of raw material can be processed differently in the various pieces of equipment. But in a continuous process, raw materials are all processed in identical fashion. Now, all batch processes act in a sequence of phases throughout the system, which is a function of the process, and the product being produced, that is, not of the control technique used. Movement of the batch from one equipment to another can occur only when the operation in that equipment is complete and the next equipment is ready to receive the material. Whereas in continuous process, materials flow steadily from one equipment to the next. Each batch process generally requires more sequential logic, which is a part of the normal operating mode for the batch process. Whereas in a continuous process, this sequential logic is used only during startup or shutdown of the system. Now, from all these above descriptions, we can definitely conclude that all PLCs or programmable logic controllers are most suitable device to control the batch processes. Both the logic and the continuous variables can be handled within the same unit, and both binary combinational logic and sequencing operation can be easily carried out using PLCs. That will be all for today. For the next day, we'll deal with the other two variations of process control.